Number 6, scamming is a booming industry. Scamming is a fully industrialized, globally thriving industry worth somewhere between $500 billion to $1 trillion annually, and that is just what we know of. In 2025 alone, scammers extracted over $400 billion from reported victims worldwide. The FBI logged a record $16.6 billion in US losses in 2024, which is roughly a 33% increase from prior year. Now imagine the scale of what never gets reported. In 2024, seniors over 60 lost $2.4 billion, a 400% increase from $600 million in 2020. These were mostly through investment, impersonation, and romance scams. And with the recent surge in development of artificial intelligence, it completely changed the game. Deepfake scam attempts now happen every 5 minutes. Scammers need just 3 seconds of your voice to clone it and use it against the people closest to you. A finance worker was tricked into wiring $25 million after joining what he believed was a routine video call with coworkers and the company's chief financial officer. Every single person on that call was a deepfake. A woman was scammed for over $800,000 after being convincingly romanced online, thinking she was speaking to Brad Pitt. These are strategic scamming operations with offices, supervisors, performance targets, and shift schedules. What is crazy is that 57% of people worldwide were involved in some form of scam last year, yet a third of us still genuinely believe we would easily spot it. Be more skeptical and be more cautious. Your personal information is more accessible than you think, and these people know exactly how to use it against you. Number 5, California is one of the largest economies in the world. California is the 4th largest economy on the entire planet. The 3rd largest state in the United States has a GDP of approximately $4.3 trillion. This one state outproduces Japan, India, the United Kingdom, and Canada, and that ranking has been bouncing back and forth with Japan, separated by less than 0.5% difference. One state is in a neck-and-neck race with the entire country of Japan. This did not happen by accident. Post-World War II industrialization built the foundation, and Silicon Valley, exploding from the 1970s onward, poured fuel on everything. Tech companies like Apple, Google, Meta, and Nvidia all started in California. 58 Fortune 500 companies are headquartered there, and the state accounts for roughly 14% of the entire US economy on its own. So single state has a GDP larger than countries and nations. The next time someone complains about California being expensive, remind them they are technically living inside a global economic superpower. Number 4, microplastics are worse than we ever realized. Microplastics are an invisible, permanent, irreversible crisis that we've already lost control of. For decades, researchers estimated ocean plastic based on what they could see floating on the surface. But when they ran the actual numbers, most of the plastic was missing. Approximately 8 million tons enter the ocean every single year, yet we can only account for a fraction of it on the surface. Scientists called it the missing plastic problem. In 2025, researchers from the Netherlands Institute for Sea Research solved the mystery. The plastic did not disappear, it degraded into nanoplastics, particles smaller than 1 micrometer and completely invisible to the naked eye. It is molecularly dispersed throughout the entire water column. They calculated roughly 27 million tons of nanoplastics floating through the North Atlantic. These particles move through rain, rivers, and air. They infiltrate entire ecosystems. They have been found in fish, plankton, and human brain tissue. They are small enough to pass directly through cell membranes, and the long-term biological damage is something science is only beginning to understand. It's not something you can clean up. You can physically pick up plastic bags and bottles, but nanoplastics are molecularly dispersed. There is no technology to extract or decontaminate it. It's permanently part of the ocean and the ecosystem. The only real solution is stopping more plastic from entering. So let's collectively work together and make sure to pick up our trash and recycle. Number three, Pokemon cards demolish the stock markets. Wall Street analysts spend entire careers chasing returns that beat the S&P 500. A 9-year-old with a binder of Pokemon cards did it without even trying. Since 2004, select Pokemon cards have delivered over 3,000% return on investment, completely destroying the S&P 500 that had a return of over 400% in the same period. That original booster pack your parents bought for $4 in 1999 is worth over $600 today. That Charizard card they probably threw away could fetch $5,000 raw. If it was in excellent condition and graded at a 9 or a 10, it can easily be worth over $50,000. In February 2026, Logan Paul sold a single Pikachu Illustrator card, one of only 39 ever printed in existence, for $16.5 million at auction, placing him in the Guinness World Record for the most expensive trading card ever sold. He had bought it just 4 years earlier for $5.3 million. That is over 200% return on a single piece of cardboard in under 5 years. Pokemon just celebrated its 30th anniversary this year, and it remains the highest grossing media franchise in history at over $160 billion. That's ahead of Star Wars, Marvel, and Harry Potter combined. So if you have a childhood collection, it's a good time to check. You might just have a down payment for a house. Number two, bananas are radioactive. Bananas have been measured and scientifically verified as radioactive. It's because bananas are packed with potassium, and a small fraction of all naturally occurring potassium is a radioactive isotope called potassium 40, which steadily emits radiation as it decays. Eating one banana exposes you to about 0.01 millirum of radiation. That sounds alarming, but this is a very small amount of radiation. You would need to eat about 100 bananas to match the radiation that your body is already naturally exposed to in a single day. Scientists even invented a unit of measurement called the banana equivalent dose, specifically to help people visualize low-level radiation exposure in relatable human terms. That same potassium 40 isotope lives in Brazil, nuts, potatoes, and your own body right now. Your kidneys are so precisely calibrated at regulating potassium that eating extra bananas does not even raise your internal radiation levels. The excess just gets filtered out. You are, at this very moment, slightly radioactive. So is every single person around you. The most dangerous thing about a banana has always been the peel left on the floor. Number one, the beginning of human extinction. For most of modern history, the terrifying prediction was overpopulation. Too many people, not enough resources, and civilization collapsing under the weight of its own growth. But today, the global fertility rate has significantly fallen to 2.3, which is barely above the 2.1 replacement level needed to maintain a stable population. This means that the birth rate is barely matching the rate of people dying. Once it goes below the threshold, the population will start to decrease instead of grow, and more than half of all countries are already below that threshold. China, Japan, Italy, and Spain have dropped to ultra-low fertility rates of below 1.2. South Korea's rate is sitting at 0.72. These numbers compound over generations, and the sad reality is they're a dying country. The global population is projected to peak around 2080s at 10.3 billion and then begin an irreversible decline. By the year 2100, for the first time in all of recorded human history, there will be more people over 65 than under 18. Entire economies are architecturally built on the assumption of a growing workforce. When that permanently inverts, it's literally the beginning of the end. So let's collectively make effort and not reach the point of no return. Now, go have as many children as possible, but only if you have the resources. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to see more.